Hey everyone, welcome back to the Incredible India podcast series. I'm Taylor.
And I'm Sam. Great to be here.
Today we're diving into something special. We're using our sources to explore 8 really remarkable island gems around India.
That's right. These are places many travelers miss, scattered along the coast and even in rivers. We're talking everything from, tropical paradises to ancient temples, even a space launch site.
Exactly. So our mission here is to give you a shortcut, really, a way to quickly grasp the sheer diversity India offers beyond the mainland hotspots. You'll get insights into culture, history, nature.
And maybe add a few unexpected spots to your travel list or just, expand your knowledge of India. It's fascinating how varied these islands are. They aren't just beaches.
Definitely not just beaches. Okay, so let's start with maybe the most classic tropical image, the Andaman and Nicobar Islands. The descriptions of the water, just wow.
Oh, absolutely. The sources consistently mention crystal clear waters. We're talking visibility that can easily hit 20, maybe 30 meters.
Which is incredible. Why is it so clear compared to other places?
Well, it's largely down to their isolation. They're quite far from the mainland, so they avoid a lot of the river silt and industrial runoff that can cloud coastal waters elsewhere. It keeps things really pristine.
Right, and that pristine environment must support a lot of life.
It really does. The marine biodiversity is staggering. The sources point to over 750 species of fish alone, plus sharks, rays, sea turtles. It's a critical zone.
Wow.
And the coral reefs themselves are key complex structures like staghorn, brain coral. They act as vital nurseries for all that marine life.
Amazing. And for anyone dreaming of that perfect beach picture, Red Beach on Havelock Island keeps coming up, doesn't it?
Yes, Time magazine even named it Asia's best beach once. It's famous for that incredibly fine white sand, almost powdery, and, well, the sunsets are apparently legendary.
Sounds idyllic. But there's a darker side to the Andaman's history too, right? The sources mention the cellular jail.
Yes, and you really can't talk about Port Blair without acknowledging it. Built by the British, finished around 1906, its very design was intended for isolation and, frankly, suffering.
The architecture itself tells a story, that star shape.
Exactly. Originally 7 wings radiating from a central tower. The whole point was solitary confinement. Nearly 700 individual cells designed so prisoners couldn't communicate. It was mainly for political prisoners, those fighting for India's independence.
So sobering.
It is. And today it serves as a national memorial. It's a really powerful place that forces you to confront that history and honor the freedom fighters who were held there. It's essential context for understanding the islands.
Okay, let's shift focus a bit westward to the Lakshadweep Islands. These seem quite different coral atolls.
Completely different feel. Lakshadweep is all about these stunning, calm, turquoise lagoons protected by the coral atolls. Very exclusive, very serene.
Ideal for calmer water sports, I imagine, like kayaking.
Perfect for it. Kayaking, diving, snorkeling, especially around islands like Agatti, Bangram, and Kadmat. The lagoons are the main draw.
It sounds almost too perfect. How do they manage to keep it so pristine? Is sustainability a big focus? The sources touch on this.
It's a huge focus. Lakshadweep is often highlighted as India's model for sustainable island tourism, and it's a very deliberate policy.
How so?
Well, first, there's a strict permit system. It really limits the number of visitors allowed, which prevents overcrowding and protects the fragile environment.
Okay, controlling numbers makes sense. What else?
There's a complete ban on single-use plastics, which is massive for a marine environment. And crucially, they involve the local community directly in conservation, like with community-run coral restoration projects.
Ah, so the locals have a direct stake in preserving it.
Precisely. It means tourism benefits them, and they are invested in protecting the ecosystem that attracts visitors. It's a really interesting model.
And the culture there is unique too, a mix of influences.
Yes, primarily Malayali and Arab descent, with Islam as the main religion. You see this blend in traditions like the lava and kolkali dances.
Any specific crafts or local activities mentioned?
Definitely. The sources mention watching artisans skillfully weave intricate items from coconut palm fronds, baskets, mats, that sort of thing. It's a glimpse into traditional, sustainable resource use.
Okay, fascinating. Let's pivot completely now. We're leaving the ocean and heading inland to a river island in Assam, Majuli.
Majuli is. Well, kind of blows your mind geographically. It's considered the world's largest river island, sitting right in the middle of the massive Brahmaputra River.
Wow.
But it's much more than just its size. It's a major center of Assamese culture and spirituality.
Home to the Vaishnavite satras, right? These monastic centers.
That's right, over 20 active satras. And these aren't just monasteries. They're unique sociocultural institutions founded way back in the 15th and 16th centuries. They preserve and promote traditional Assamese arts, music, and dance drama.
Any specific examples stand out?
The Dakinpat Satra is mentioned for its specialization in traditional mask making, these incredible, often quite large masks used in religious performances.
Made from local materials.
Yeah, bamboo, clay, natural dyes, really intricate work. And you also see the weaving of golden muga silk, which Assam is famous for, happening on traditional hand looms right there on the island.
Culture, craft, and nature, too. I think the sources mentioned birds.
Oh, yes. Majuli is a huge draw for bird watchers, especially for migratory species. It actually hosts one of the world's largest breeding colonies of the greater adjutant stork.
Which is critically endangered, isn't it?
It is. So their presence there says a lot about the relative health of the wetland ecosystem, even though the island itself faces serious erosion challenges from the river. It's a constant battle.
A fragile beauty, then. Okay, let's jump coasts again to Diu Island off Gujarat. This one has a very different history.
Completely different. To Diu feels like stepping back into Portuguese colonial times. They ruled there for over 450 years.
And that shows in the architecture, I assume. The fort?
Absolutely. The massive Diu fort, built around 1535, dominates the landscape. And St. Paul's Church is a key example textbook Portuguese Baroque style.
Baroque, meaning lots of ornamentation, elaborate carvings.
Exactly. Very ornate, detailed, almost theatrical. It's quite distinct from typical Indian architectural styles. But what's nice about Diu, according to the sources, is that despite this history, the beaches are quite serene.
Less crowded than, say, Goa.
Apparently so. Nagoa Beach, which is sort of horseshoe-shaped, gets mentioned as being particularly peaceful, less commercialized.
And the culture. Is there a culinary blend, too?
Yes. Portuguese meets Gujarati. The sources highlight things like a signature fish curry made with coconut milk, which sounds delicious, and also the local cashew-based spirit, Feni.
Interesting mix. Okay, from colonial echoes to backwater tranquility. Monroe Island in Kerala.
Ah, Munro Thruth. Yeah, this is pure Kerala backwater experience. The main thing here isn't big boats, it's about slow, quiet travel.
On traditional canoes. Vivalam.
Precisely. Gliding through these incredibly narrow, winding canals, often shrouded in mist, passing right between paddy fields and coconut groves. It's very peaceful, very immersive.
And you get a real sense of village life, traditional crafts.
Definitely. The sources talk about observing core, making that whole process of turning coconut husks into rope and mats. It's labor-intensive work you can see happening right along the canals.
That's fascinating. A direct connection to the local resource.
Yeah, and other sustainable practices too, like organic farming, using biogas plants. It feels like a very self-contained traditional way of life.
Right. Let's move into our final section, the unexpected gems. Starting close to a major city, Elephanta Island, near Mumbai.
Yeah, what's surprising here is just how accessible it is. It's only about an hour's ferry ride from the Gateway of India.
And that short trip takes you way back in time, UNESCO World Heritage Site, right? For the caves.
Exactly. These aren't built caves, they are rock-cut cave temples, carved directly out of the solid basalt hill between the 5th and 8th centuries CE. It's incredible engineering.
And the artwork inside? The sources highlight one particular sculpture.
The Trimurti sculpture. It's colossal, about 20 feet tall, depicting the 3 faces of Shiva representing the Hindu Trinity. Brahma the creator, Vishnu the preserver, and Shiva the destroyer.
20 feet, carved into hard basalt rock. That's just mind-boggling skill.
It truly is. The level of detail and artistry is phenomenal. And there are other masterpieces too, like the Artanarishvara sculpture, half male, half female form of Shiva. It beautifully represents the concept that the divine encompasses both masculine and feminine principles, that it's beyond gender. Deep philosophy expressed through monumental art.
Incredible. Okay. From ancient carvings to modern rocketry. Sriharikota Island in Andhra Pradesh.
Yeah, quite the jump. Sriharikota has this fascinating dual identity. On one hand, it's India's main spaceport, the Satish Dhawan Space Center,
where they launched the big PSLV and GSLV rockets carrying satellites. Can you actually watch the launches?
Apparently, yes, there are viewing opportunities sometimes, which must be an absolutely awe-inspiring
A
experience.
bit. But the sources mention something else too, wildlife.
Yes, and this is the really unique part. While it's a high-security, high-tech zone, the island is also part of the Pulaket Lake Wildlife Sanctuary.
So rockets and flamingos, how does that work?
It seems to work surprisingly well. Because it's a restricted area, much of the island and the surrounding lake ecosystem remain relatively undisturbed by general human activity.
Ah, so the security zone actually protects the habitat.
In a way, yes. And the result is that huge flocks of flamingos migrate there, along with over 115 other bird species. It's this amazing juxtaposition of advanced technology and thriving nature.
That's truly unexpected. Okay, one last island gem. Devar Island in Goa. This sounds like the antidote to crowded beaches.
It really does. The sources describe it as a step back in time. You have to
Right.
take a small passenger ferry across the Mandovi River to get there, no bridges.
And that keeps it quiet, less developed.
Seems so. There's a noticeable lack of big commercial hotels, helping it retain a traditional Goan village atmosphere. Think sleepy lanes, old houses, paddy fields.
Sounds perfect for just exploring slowly. Maybe cycling.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Cycling through the green paddy fields, checking out the old heritage churches like Our Lady of Compassion, which dates back to 1700. It's about soaking in the atmosphere.
And there's a special festival there too, Bondaram.
Yes, in August. It sounds quite unique, a sort of playful commemoration of old boundary disputes between villages. They have mock parades with flags, music. It's very local, very community-focused.
What a fantastic range we've covered, from the Andaman's reefs and history, to Majuli's culture, Diu's colonial past, Elefanta's ancient art, Sarhurikota's tech-nature balance.
It's incredible, isn't it? When you look at them all together, these islands really challenge any single idea of what India is. They show you these pockets of immense diversity, historical, cultural, ecological, even technological, often hidden just off the mainland or within a river.
So the final takeaway.
I think it's about realizing that India's identity is constantly revealing itself in these unexpected places. It's a land of constant discovery, far beyond the usual tourist trails. And maybe the thought to leave you with is, considering the sheer variety, from deep history to cutting-edge science, which of these unique slices of India calls to you the most? Which one would you explore first?
That's a great question indeed, lots to think about. And if you decide to travel to India, we have a recommendation. Five Senses Tours organizes tours across India, which are immersive cultural experiences. You can email contact@fivesensetours.com or WhatsApp to +919-845-677-446